Hello and good morning. Welcome. Welcome to Live and Love the channel. Live and Love. It's a spiritual channel and I talk about spiritual things. I do the return of senders. I do the return of senders every day. I do them every day for the purpose of returning negative energy back to wherever it is coming from. That's my purpose of doing the return of senders. I do the cleansing. I cleanse myself every day with salt. Salt, I use it for cleansing. It's used for cooking too, but I use salt for cleansing. My splash I use for cleansing also. Cleansing, it's like the splash. So say if I forget to use the salt, then I'll just spray myself with this because it also helps ward away the evil. It's made with herbs, Florida water, holy water, rose water. It has camphor tablets, and it has a whole bunch of herbs in there to help ward away the evil, right? I have been talking I have been talking about like the crimes, right? I have been talking about the courthouse. Courthouse is one. Whenever I would say like whatever I'm doing, I'm looking up information, or I have my documents and my complaint, and they were like, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about." They would get defensive and they would say that to me. So it's the same thing with my sister. She says, "Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know anything about houses." I'm like, "You stole a house. House is mine." I was like, "And you took it." And then she's like, "You don't know what you're talking about." But it's like when a criminal, they get defensive, and then you know they're so smart with their crimes. Everyone is in on it. Everyone's in on it. Everyone's going to cover for them. So when it came down to the courthouse, I don't know what I'm talking about, but it's an elaborate scheme. How can I prove it if everyone's going to cover for them? And they would always ask me, "Oh, how did that complaint go?" Because they already knew nothing was going to get done. And I would be like, nothing happened. Nothing got done. It was like, I know it. Like, okay, like nothing happened. And that was that. They would question me. You don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're talking about. Because they don't want to give the information, and then they're not going to tell, and they don't expect me to know. So it's the same thing with my sister. She said the same thing. You don't know anything about houses. You don't know what you're talking about. So then I had to hit her with the law. I was like, forgery is a crime. I was like, sabotaging documents is a crime. Pretending to be someone else is a crime. Also, I had to just hit her with the law. And then she's like, "Oh, I don't know." And her husband works in cybersecurity. In cybersecurity is like not hackers and scammers, but they are the kind of people that can manipulate a whole entire system. They have the education to do so, education to do it legally, because you think that they're an educated person in cybersecurity, but they're an educated criminal. They can get away with everything. They can change systems. The unclaimed funds system, the whole mainframe changed because I'm trying to look for the property again, and now the whole mainframe changed. It's not there, and I can't find it. I'm like, okay. So and then the courthouse website changed all, not the courthouse, the child support website. The whole mainframe changed because someone's manipulating the money. They changed the money there. Someone manipulated the whole mainframe. The whole mainframe changed. So I'm like, okay. So now you got two people in cybersecurity that is, manipulating the system. You don't know what they did. You can't find the previous information, so you got to find the person that created the program. I'm like, okay, like okay, and that's the two things, and then it's like everything else that's in the system, they hide it, and it's like, and everybody lies, everybody's in on it, and no one is gonna tell you what the hell is happening. The cybersecurity, like I didn't think her husband was on it too, but he's in cybersecurity and he's in on it too, and she controls him and she tells him what to do and he does it. I'm just like, Oh my God, but the criminals are so smart that they're dumb, and then it's like they can manipulate situations and they think that they're going to get away with it because they were so smart with their crime that they're going to get away with it. They both have masters, doctors, PhDs. They're smart. They are smart individuals, but they are smart criminals. And they've been doing this for a long time. But it's like, I could say whatever, and then it's like nobody does their job. And I'm just like, oh my God. All I can do is just cleanse and protect myself because I know she does black magic. So I know she does black magic. I know he does black magic too. And that's how I learned of the sulfur soap is used for cleansing the negative energies because they told me the sulfur soap is used for cleansing to get the negative energy away. Like, oh, I didn't know that. I know because they told me because they do black magic. That's what they do. That's all they do. It's not my issue. It's not my issue. Mind your business, Garcia. But I'm just like, it's just so much stuff. And then it's like when I know something, the universe knows something. Like the universe knows it's already out. The information is already out. It's just a matter of time. It's just waiting for the information to come out. It's waiting for people to do their job. And it's just like, oh my God, I gotta wait. I just gotta wait. I thought I could just warn her, but she didn't deny it. That's the whole thing. She didn't deny it, and she didn't confirm anything. She just got defensive and said that I don't know anything. That's a criminal. That's a guilty person. When they start talking like that, they're guilty because they don't want to talk about what had happened. Everything changed. The system changed. Can't prove anything. You can't look anything up now. Everything is in her hands. They would have to look in the apartment. They're probably gonna find so much stuff because she has been doing like magical people for many years. We're the same age. She looks older. She looks older. And so, how old are you? We're just a year apart. I'm 45. She's 46. You're just a year apart, but she looks old. No, that's from the black magic. You keep playing in that shit. It's gonna make you look old. Clear my space, clear my energy. None of this is my problem. None of this is my issue. It can be my name can be in it. They can be stealing from me. But what can you do? Like I'm saying, everything is there, but nobody does their job. Nobody does anything about anything. Nobody looks up anything. No one does anything. So now you know the culprits, you know who's doing what, and all the evidence is in their house, is in their computer, it's in they have it, you know, the court case, all the evidence is in the files, you know. No one looks at the file, nobody wants to read the file. The money, the check, I mailed the check, I mailed it with a letter, let's see what happens with that. And it's just like I don't even know what to do. It's like I do what I have to do to protect myself and my energy, and I bring it to people's attention so that they can do something about it, and no one does anything about it. They get defensive. They get defensive because they're hiding something or they're lying. They're so smart, they're dumb, but whatever. Mind your business, Garcia. You're not supposed to be talking about any of this stuff. Just let it come out. Just let the information come out. It's like it'll just come out, and I'll be like, oh, I gotta act like I didn't, and I fucking knew the whole time. Get a tea light, any kind of tea light, any kind of tea light will do. All you have to do is carve in it. Return to sender. RETURN. Return to sender. You just carve in it. return to sender. I guess I talk about it in the morning because I just want to get it out of my head. Once I get it out, then I don't think about it anymore. So it's return to sender. Return, return to sender. That's it. And then I add the black salt. I add the black salt so that the energy is gonna go back to them. When you decide to do the return asunder, the energy goes back to whoever's doing the work. Whoever's doing the work, it's just gonna be bad for them. You know, it sucks when it's someone you care about, someone that you know, it sucks. It does suck. What happens with the energy? Okay, you can see, you can see, right? So this is me, this is them, and this is the energy. So now I know their secrets, right? So they're doing the shut up spells, they're doing the death spells, they're doing all these kind of spells to stop me from getting the information out. Just gotta let the information come out. You know, so now they have the energy. They're throwing it at me. They throw it at me. So they're watching to see what happens, to see if it's taking effect, right? I cleanse with salt. I cleanse myself every day. I use the splash. The splash, it helps ward away the evil also. The splash helps me. It's away from me. It's off my body. Okay. So it's off of you. Nothing's happening to you. Like what the hell? But it's still in the house. It's still around you. So it can affect whoever's in the home with you. I feel like I have to do the return of sender. Not everyone does return of senders. Not everyone wants to deal with the candle work. They'll say, oh, just pray it away, just wash it away, cleanse with the salt. The salt removes the negative energy. Okay. But I like spell work. I like not spell work. I like lighting candles. So I do a return asunder. When I do the return asunder, the energy goes back to whoever put it out there. That's all that happens. It just goes back to whoever did it. I don't know what they did. I don't do spell work. Whatever they did, it just goes back to them. It sticks to them and it's on them. Nothing is on me. It's like I'm free from whatever it is that they're trying to do. The black magic, it will age them, makes them sick. All these bad things just start happening to them. Supernatural things, like a series of an unfortunate events. But it happened because they're playing in black magic. Sickness comes from playing in black magic. A lot of people are sick. To me, it's because of black magic. Some people say it's they're just sick from whatever natural causes. I don't believe people are supposed to get sick. Like you get sick because there's something going on. Like what did you do? And then your punishment is to get sick. That's what I believe. Everyone, I don't know. Everybody's different. Everybody does stuff. So and then everything is spiritual, and it's like things happen spiritually. I believe that. I do the return of senders because the energy is going to go back to whoever put it out there. Like that's all that's going to happen. The energy is going to go back to them. Is going to stick to them. Is going to be bad for them. What happens to them is not my problem. Is not my worry. I don't care what happens to them because they shouldn't be out here doing negative work. It's a lot of people that do negative work. You'll never know it because those are the people, they play to love God. They play to be the nicest person, overly nice. And, they just do too much. I'm, it's crazy. Overly nice. So you will never think that they would do black magic. But then that's all that they do. And it's just crazy. It's crazy when you figure out who's doing the work. It's crazy. Return to sender. Return to sender returns energy back to whoever's putting it out there. Whatever happens, it happens, and it's not my problem. It's not my problem. I still do the candle, the oil lamp. I've been doing this every day. So I fill it up. I fill it up with oil, right? I fill it up with oil and I just pray. I just pray on it because there's so many things that are wrong. There's so many things that go on in the world and people are lying. It's a lot of different issues. So it's the courthouse, it's the child support, it's the house, it's just a lot. And all I could pray for is justice. I just want everything to come out. That's all I want. I want everything to come out. I want justice to be served. I want to have everything that is mine. It's like, why would you take anything from me? And it's like, and I'm a single mother with kids. Why do they make everything hard? They make your life hard on purpose, and it's just like wow, it's my system. I just pray for justice. That's what I pray for. That's all I pray for is for justice. Justice. Let me light it. I pray for justice for all of the injustices that's going on, all the things that's going on in the courthouse, the house, the lawsuit, everything. I just want justice for all of the injustices. People are evil, and it's usually the people that are closest to you that are capable of doing you the most harm. Is somebody that you love, somebody that you care for. That's the one that's able and capable of doing you the most harm. And it's like, I just want justice for all of the injustices. I just want to be free from all of the shit. I could be free from all the shit because I stay away from everyone. But it's like, I need justice for all of the injustices that's going on. And the courthouse is a big part of everything. The unified court system is a part of everything because they're connected to everything. They're changing information, they're losing contracts. It's because of what they do. And nobody does their job, nobody checks, and it's just like, what else has to happen? Like, what else has to happen for somebody to actually do their job? It's just like, wow. But all I pray for is justice. I talk to God. Thank God I'm alive, you know. But I pray for justice. Like, I just want things to be resolved. I want things to be known. I want everyone to know, like, what the hell is going on and the levels of crime. Because it's not a petty crime. It's just some high level shit. And it's just like, wow. They into some big things because they're educated criminals with masters and doctrines and PhDs. These are educated people doing big crimes. And they think that they're going to get away with it because they're so smart. They think that they're going to get away with crime. A crime is a crime, and you still got to do time for that crime that you commit. It may not be a petty crime, but when it's a bigger crime, you end up doing more time in jail. But it's like, you can't help everyone. I can't help everyone. I can tell you the law, but that don't mean you're going to listen to what I'm saying. You're not going to listen to, there's consequences to every crime. Petty thieves, you get off. You go to jail, you get right out. But when you do something big, yeah, there's no saving them. They ruined their whole entire life by trying to trick people, trying to commit a crime that is like, oh my God, like, I can't believe that they did all this stuff. And it's, how could you can't even help them even if you wanted to. Punishment comes in sickness. It comes in your health. It comes, supernatural things happen, a series of unfortunate events. That's what ends up happening. It ends up being supernatural. You can't prove it. You don't understand why, or you'll know why because you're doing something, you know? It's not right. It's against everything. And there's no way to get them. Supernatural things just start happening, and it's just like, oh well, like, you can't prove it. You can't prove it, can't explain it. It just happens, and you just gotta look at it happen and be like, okay. But you'll know why it happened. You'll understand why it happened. It's not my problem. Some people go to jail, they die in jail. Some people, a lot of things happen to people, and it's like, oh, that's their karma, or that's, why it happened. It's because of what they did. You know, whatever happens to them is justified because of what they did in real life. You know, the crimes can be so heavy, and it's not hard to prove. If people were to actually sit there and do their job, yeah, it's not hard to prove what the hell is going on. Is there. It just takes time and patience to go through the paperwork, go through the files, go through the mainframe and see what the hell happened and who did what. And but nobody wants to do their job. I keep saying nobody does their job. This has been going on since the 60s, the 70s. Like, nobody does their job. Maybe in 2025, people will actually get up and do their job. Like, things will change and people will actually do their job. That's my petition. My petition for justice. I just want justice for all of the injustices that's going on. All of the injustices that's going on with myself, and the return of senders. I do them every day because they're working. They're working. I can't prove it. I don't know who's doing it. I don't know, but I gotta protect myself. That's all I can do is just protect myself and pray things come to light. Like, I just want things to come to light, people to do their jobs, and like everything's just gonna come out, and everything that has been taken to be returned to me, and the criminals in jail. And it's like, I'm not gonna feel bad. I'm not gonna feel sorry. It's just, it didn't have to be this way. That's the whole thing. It didn't have to be this way, but they made it this way, and they made things harder for themselves. And it's just like, wow, they lost so many people in their lives because of all the things that they're doing. And it's just, they don't realize what they're doing to themselves. They don't realize the black magic and how it's affecting their life and the people that they love. But it's like, you know what? Mind your business, Garcia. That's not your problem. So leave with love, leave with love, leave with love. Mind your business. Stay calm. There's always something good that happens. So it's like, life goes on. And, I can't be stressed out. We're still in the 8-8 portal. It's still open. And it's like, I have to stay in a high vibration. I can't be feel no kind of way. I can't be angry. I can't be upset. I can't be sad. No, I gotta keep my vibe high and keep moving forward because I want something to happen. I want things to move in my favor. Leave it love. Bye.